Up next on the Marmy Rock Show, man, we love finding bands like this. Out of Phoenix, Arizona, we've got Kings of Dust joining us. Now, they've got a self-titled album coming out, but by no means when you hear self-titled, think just because it's a debut, this is a brand new band in a sense. I've got Jimmy and Michael, and I think Greg's going to be here in just a couple of minutes of Kings of Dust. Guys, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having us. Screw those guys, I'm here right now. We are all here and accounted for.
Okay, everyone is present, man. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. Now, I not so eloquently teased this a little bit, but you guys are a group of veteran musicians playing in a style that's kind of epitomized your careers. So can you kind of introduce, for folks who are saying, who's Kings of Dust, introduce us to who's in the band and a little of your backgrounds.
Well, I'm Greg Chason, obviously, the bass player of the band, and I, among others, played in Badlands, and also played in Jakey Lee's Red Dragon Cartel. Again, among and there's a number of bands I played in besides that. Michael Beck is the lead vocalist in the band. How's it going?
Michael, welcome.
And he's done been in a number of signed acts, and he also spent a little bit of time with Red Dragon Cartel as well. And Jimmy Taft is our drummer. Yeah, that's me. We found him in a homeless shelter. I knew you were going to say that. Well, no one wanted him. He does have red hair. Child applies. Jimmy and I have been friends for a long time. We played in some bands together, and between the two of us, from a rhythm section perspective, we can be pretty damn annoying. Indeed.
And then the one that isn't with us today, so we can make all the fun of him that he could possibly handle, since he's not here to defend himself, would be Ryan McKay, who plays guitar.
Brilliant guitarist. He plays in a band called Louis Prima and the Witness. It's a touring recording band. They kind of do, the guy's father is Louis Prima. So it's Louis Prima Jr., and they play kind of this big band, Cab Calloway, pseudo Brian Setzer, big band sort of thing, and they do a lot of, he's at Mardi Gras right now.
Oh, wow.
And he's handing out beads to other women.
So hopefully we'll see him again back from Mardi Gras. But hey, in reading a little bit about your guys' background, you kind of, tell me if this is right, you kind of just started jamming together, and at what point did you decide this was more than just a fun little project, we could do something with this?
Well, the original thing started because Michael owns a studio here in Phoenix, Sound Vision Studios, and he was always recording other bands, and he wanted to put something together where he could actually sing on it and kind of do his own thing. So he knew a drummer who knew a guitar player who knew me. So it was kind of just, we were going to get together. It was just going to be a wank. We were going to get together and see what happened, and maybe, do a couple riffs. No one had an actual song. We were just kind of jam and see if we could turn it into anything. Well, along the way, we ended up writing a song. The original guitarist, Mike Petruno, had the original riff of the song Keep the Spirit Alive, which is on the actual album, the Kings of Dust album.
Yeah.
And that's actually him playing on it with our original drummer, Donnie Fargo. That's the one track they're on. And when we wrote that song, we thought, wait a minute, this doesn't seem that funny now. This actually seems like an actual song.
All the humor went right out.
Let's see if we can write something else. And I wrote Like an Ocean, and then Mike Petruno, and I wrote Let the Ugly Through, and a couple other ones. Well, then after about a year or so, we didn't even have a name. We just had a joke name. We were calling ourselves Prehistoric Steamroller. It was just still at the point where we weren't sure exactly what we wanted to do. Well, Mike and Donnie ended up quitting, and the band kind of went sideways, and Michael called me, Michael Beck, and said, hey, I think we should, find new players and keep doing this, because I think the material warrants, at least seeing what could happen with it. So I got a hold of Brian, who I didn't know, but I had seen him play, and I got his phone number from a friend of mine, played him the demos, and he said, yeah, I would love to be involved with that. Went through a few drummers, went through some other things. I was in Red Dragon Cartel for a while on tour, and I got sick, I got cancer, had to quit Red Dragon Cartel, decided to do the cancer treatment thing, and we kind of put the whole Kings, it was now called Kings of Dust, on hold while I recovered from it. Finally, after a couple of years, about 3 years, I felt like it was worth doing. I felt I had enough energy to do it. I ran into Jimmy Taft here, and I said, hey, I got this band, you'd be perfect for it. And he said, yeah, I'd be interested. So I went and did an interview and announced him as our new drummer before I even asked him to be in the band. So he found out he was in the band. He's reading an interview going, wow.
I guess I'm a part of this, yeah.
I had run into Jimmy at a club soon after that, and he goes, hey, I think you're my singer.
Yeah, they actually never met. So Jimmy hadn't met Ryan. We never got together and jammed. I just said, it's my band, Jimmy's in the band. I'm taking my basketball and going home.
Well, hands down the coolest way I ever found out I landed a gig.
Yeah, it's awesome to get the job before you knew you applied for it, man. That's pretty cool. So.
Well, listen, I found out by reading the interview. And I had sent Greg a private message shortly thereafter saying, wow, hands down the coolest way I found out I got a gig, man. Hats off to you. It was pretty funny.
Jimmy and I were in a band together in Phoenix called Sunny Jim, and I had seen Jimmy play, and he was familiar with me. I was still living in LA at the time, and I said, hey, one of these days we're going to play in a band together. So when I got back to Phoenix, when I moved back here after Badlands, Jimmy and I got in contact, and he said neither one of us were in any kind of band. And I said, well, we'll put an ad out in the local musicians paper here, and our ad read, are you sick of your drummer and bass player? They suck. If so, call us. So we got a lot of calls from drummers and bass players saying, who the hell do you think you are? And we said, well, if you don't suck, what are you worried about? And a band called us up, a couple bands called us up, and we went down and played with these guys, not saying any of Jimmy's resume or none of mine. And we both got in this band called Sunny Jim. It was an original band, but it had more of a 90s kind of Wallflower meets Mr. Jones. What's the name of that band? The guy that does
Counting Crows, yeah.
Yeah, so it had more of that kind of a vibe to it. But Jimmy and I would go on some bass and drum excursions and leave everyone just there with their mouth going, what are they doing, and how do they know where they're at, and how do they get out of it?
Now,
we did. And apparently I was more obnoxious than I needed to be because I got kicked out. And Jimmy's still in the band. The bastard left me there, and 20 years later he's still playing with them. What kind of a friend is that, Jimmy? You're out of band.
Now, hey, you mentioned a cool song, and it's interesting. It's the first one you wrote, "Keep the Spirit Alive." I was listening to that today, and I want to ask you about it. If, number one, is that a holiday tune? And if so, it's the most aggressive, non-traditional kind of holiday tune I know. Tell me more about that tune.
Well, originally, we had done that song. I've been involved with Alice Cooper and his Solid Rock Foundation for a long time, and I have done their record for their foundation for a long time.
The Christmas Pudding record.
Yeah. So originally, it was a track called "Keep the Spirit Alive" that we wrote specifically for that release, and you can find it online. But the original lyrics, we had always planned on doing, if we were going to do this thing, to make it a regular song. So I had written another set of lyrics that wasn't Christmas oriented, and that's the version that wound up on the record.
It's called Bah Humbug.
So it's a cool tune, man. It's like you got to get, you go all the way down and listen to the whole record, and you'll get down there to that one. And another one I wanted to ask you that has a really fun groove to it now, and it's the tune "Yeah, That's Me." And I wanted to know, are you guys talking about one of you, or is it like more about your fans in that song?
I'm actually talking about the guys in the band. No. You know what? The way that song came about is it was written. Me and Mike Petruno wrote it, but then I rewrote it. I wanted more of a Stonesy kind of ZZ Top Francine meets the Rolling Stones Brown Sugar. I wanted that kind of vibe in the riff, so I never even played the original track for Ryan. The original demo that we did of it, I was actually playing drums, and I had Ryan play a guitar track. I said, here's what I want. I didn't tell him what I wanted, exactly. I just said, I want this vibe. And he kind of wrote that riff, the way it starts, exactly like right off the top of his head. And then we quickly recorded a demo of it, of me playing drums and bass, and then Ryan doing the guitar and Michael doing the vocals. So we took an original song that we had and kind of transformed it into Yeah, That's Me, where it's got kind of a Mountain Meets the Stones sort of thing, which is exactly what I was going for with slide guitar and all that. The funny part is, it's the most different, to me, the most different sounding song on the record, and it's a lot of people's most favorite track on the record. It's got these very happy musical kind of structure, and then Beck's kind of dark lyrics on there. So I'm not sure, but he may have been writing it about me, because that's me.
I'm never going to tell, ever.
So, hey, one big question a lot of people are going to know is, what about live shows? Do you guys plan on performing out live anytime soon, and where and when might that be?
We haven't actually ever done a show. So this band has never done a show. And we are actually trying to make arrangements to do that now. There's a lot of interest for us to go out and play. Problem is, I have a music store here, Bizarre Guitar and Drum in Phoenix. Jimmy has his own business. Michael has his studio. Ryan's the one guy that kind of just plays for a living. The rest of us do other things for a living. And so the chances of us getting on a tour bus for 3 months isn't very likely. However, we're trying to work up a thing with the promoter in Texas where we go and do like maybe 7 or 8 shows over 10 or 11 days in Texas and Oklahoma. There's some interest for us to go back east and play. There's some festivals back there.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys have that festival vibe. I mean, even if it's quote-unquote an 80s festival, you're not an 80s band, but you got that vibe that you would fit so well in like M3 and some of these other places.
I love to play M3. I think we would fit in there well, too, because, the 70s, what's the saying is, the 70s are the new 2020s. Everyone wants to, there's a lot of bands doing that 70s vibe, and that, are making quality sounding records and selling records, whether it be Rival Sons or Greta Van Fleet or Dirty Honey and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And so that we fit right in with that. The thing for us is I started playing music in the 70s, so did these guys. So the influences that we bring to the table are the same influences we had in the 70s. I didn't have to go back and discover it. It was already there. So the songs I wrote in the 70s sound like the songs I write now. And to me, I don't care how you get it. I just think it's cool that kind of musical vibe is coming back. And I should mention that Jake's Red Dragon Cartel, their last record, Katina, had a very 70s vibe to it as well. So I think there is a market for it, and I'm really happy that all those kind of bands are helping keep the spirit alive.
Hey, nice. I like what you did there.
Shameless
like what you did there, yeah.
Yeah, well, one of us has to do it. God gives you skill, you got to go with it. We're glad to be part of that. So if a Monsters of Rock thing, I think we would fit in there. So there's talk of us going to Japan because of my affiliation with Badlands. There's also been some talk about some overseas festivals. So we're kind of game for anything. The money isn't important to us. None of us started this or got involved with this because we thought we'd make money. As long as we can make enough money to keep pushing the pile forward. Right now, we have paid for everything pretty much ourselves with that, and also we had a very successful pre-order for the record. So we're just trying to, keep moving forward, and also, to be as authentic as we can. And I think that people that have heard the record, all the reviews have been very positive, and I think we would fit in with a lot of those bands. And here's my number, 602. No.
Well, we'll do better We'll do better than that. What I wanted to do, that was actually what I wanted to conclude with today, is to help you guys keep that spirit alive. See, I worked it right in there. How do you, where's the best place for go to people to pre-order? And I believe the album comes out on the 13th of March. So where do you want to direct people to buy this thing and help you guys out?
Well, I know when the record comes out on the 13th, you can. It's going to be on Amazon and a number of brick and mortars. We have a deal with Orchard; they're going to distribute the record for us, and so you can pre-order on Amazon, and you can also contact us on our Kings of Dust Facebook page or even our Kings of Dust Instagram page. And we have a limited supply of albums, that CDs ourselves that we can sign for you and sell you. And which basically the money that we make from this just goes right back into trying to promote this thing. I think it's a viable product. I think without us trying to be a commercial popular band, it has a certain something that people seem to resonate with. As a matter of fact, I always describe the music as 70s hard rock with a little something extra.
Yeah.
I think, without sounding like a complete arrogant prick, I think that the musicianship is top notch. I mean, I played with a lot of name musicians, and these guys are right up there with them, and in some cases surpass some of them. I really like the songwriting. It has nothing to do whether I bring a bulk of the material in. I think what the four of us do with it when we are done with it, it can only be a song by what the four of us add to it. And even as we are rehearsing currently, get ready to do we're doing a video for what's the other? Shoot that video in a couple of weeks. If Beck lives through it, here he's over here coughing up the wall. And we're going to do that. And I just think that it says something. And I think because of what people are looking for, I think there's enough people that are sick of Kanye West and the rest of that crap out there that they're looking for something real. And I think bands like us and some of the other bands I've named are offering that. And I think we'll, all be millionaires soon.
Well, man, I appreciate it. We've had Jimmy, Michael, and Greg with us from Kings of Dust. Their record drops on March the 13th. You can check that on Amazon. Guys, I really appreciate you being here, man. Thanks so much for taking the time today to be on the show, and we'll keep an eye on you guys for sure.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure, and thanks for the support.